Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind. 20 years of radio history, celebrating over 30 years of the greatest songs ever made.
Hey, Deborah Gibson here. Thanks for logging on to RetroRewind.com.
Retro Rewind!
This is Retro Rewind.
We've got some footage from what some of the students do when they're here. What can you tell us about how, if they're interested, you know, like parents or they go to your website, obviously.
Yeah, my website, or go to DeborahGibson'sElectricYouth.com. And there's footage now on, I believe, that site, but definitely on my site from the recording boot camp we did. And I know that on the campsite there's footage from the summer camp from last year. There's Patrick, who helps me run the camp. His email is electricyouth08 at AOL.com. And he can send information, like if somebody wants to kind of show some interest, that they're interested in the next recording boot camp, for example, we can pre-register you for that to make sure you have a spot, because people have been dying to do this stuff, and I try to keep it to a limited number. This last one, I did 3 kids, and with a total of 5 songs. We kept it really intimate. It was unbelievable. We got to really just give kids the attention that they would get in a real studio from a real producer and a record label, and they get that entire experience. I mean, last year we did it, and Kanye was recording Love Lockdown across the hall.
How about that?
I mean, it was unbelievable, you know. It was like, okay, this is no joke. We're not taking them into somebody's basement studio, where a lot of records get done also, but we want them to actually experience like the whole vibe and the slightly glamorous side of it as well.
Sure, why not? You know, because they're impressionable, and that you know, that's a.
And there is a romance and a glamour to recording. There is something very demanding about it.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to take care of your instrument and be in good voice, and so we had to keep them from, you know, running around like banshees and screaming, because they want to be kids too, and that's where I give them their pep talk about, yes, you can have fun, but when it's your time behind the microphone, you're using everybody's time and money and your parents' money, and you need to be rested and warmed up, and I try to get them into those good habits, good eating habits.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat a pizza then sing. You're going to get reflux, and you're going to be tired, and so I try to, again, without being preachy about it, lead by example.
Right.
You know, when I record, I cut the coffee, I cut the sweets, I get to bed early. You know, it's people don't become stars by accident, and they don't become, again, they might become somebody who ends up lip syncing for 3 years and making a bunch of money, and that's it. But you don't become Beyonce or Celine Dion or people like that by abusing your instrument.
Right.
Those girls take it really seriously. You know, you hear J-Lo say, "I've never been drunk in my life. I don't smoke. I don't," because you can't run a multi-million-dollar empire if you're out partying.
No.
You can be on the cover of magazines if that's what you want.
Sure.
But
I hear you.
Yeah.
So how many students, when does this happen? Is this like, how many times a year?
We're doing the summer camp. We did a winter camp in New York, and I'll probably do that again this year.
Winter in New York?
Winter in New York.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, we had 30 kids at that camp.
All right.
Last summer we had 120. This year we want about 50, and we're almost at that number. So we're just filling the remaining spots, because we want to be able to give as much individualized attention as possible. You know, when you do a songwriting class and everybody gets 5 minutes, it's kind of tough. So I'd rather everybody gets 15 minutes. And we're doing the summer camp July 6th through 17th in Hollywood, California.
Okay.
It's like 6 classes a day, morning till evening. Best acting teachers, voice teachers, pop music kind of style teachers. We've got like young, funky, hip musical theater teachers that because musical theater has also become kind of pop rock.
Right.
So apart from the legit vocal technique, you get suddenly you have an audition for Rent and you're a legit singer. What do you do? How do you do that? How do you navigate that? How do you sing it safely but give them the pop edge they want? Look at Adam Lambert on Idol. He's a theater guy.
Right, yeah.
You know, again, proof that having real skills and real training, that is what pays off in the long run.
Yeah, and I think that has something to do with some of your longevity. It's nice that you're able to you were able to use that in theater and performance and what you're doing with this school.
It's all the same skill set you find. Like if you have, for me, classical piano background,
right.
I can go play any pop song by ear now that I want to because I'm trained. I can sit and improv with. I mean, God, I was invited on stage by Elton John and Billy Joel at one point, and was able to play was able to say what key is it in, and how do. And Elton even said to me, "Great improv chops," and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Did he just say that? But that's the thing is like if you have the acting training that's not. There's a lot of scammy acting teachers in LA that will teach you how to book a role in a week. Yeah, well, how do you keep the role?
Yeah, there you
how
go.
do you keep?
Right.
How do you stay on a show that's going to run for 10 years?
Yeah.
God willing,
Yeah.
So Howard Fine is that teacher to me, and he's the kind of guy. You might not book anything the first week you study with him. It might be a year, it might be 2 years, it might be 3 years, but he's coached everyone from Kerry Washington to Brad Pitt, and they haven't done half bad.
No, I think they've done a little bit.
No.
Yeah, they're working.
Yeah, it's about real deal training for us at this camp. I'm flying in a voice teacher from New York. His name's Eric Buckley. We did Grease together on the road. And
okay.
He's phenomenal. He taught at the New York camp. We've been just like slowly putting together our staff of teachers who the kids relate to and who are young and hip, but also, like within 5 minutes of working with Eric, you could hear somebody's voice open up, and all the other kids are like, oh my God,
it gets their attention.
You just, it's that attention to detail that certain teachers have, and that's what we've got at this camp. I'm really proud of it.
Well, you've done very well with it, and I wish you continued success. What else are you getting into? If we can just touch briefly on.
Yeah, well, I'm recording some new pop music, and like I said earlier, I don't want to be 23 again. I don't want to be, but like the Gwen Stefani's and the Fergies and the women like that who are actually my age and older. Gwen is a mom, and she's still bopping around on that stage in that very youthful, athletic kind of way, but her music is also very sophisticated. I mean, in a way, that's what I'm doing. There's a lot of flavors, a lot of current flavors in it, but lyrically, I'm owning the fact that I'm 38 years old, proud of it, and I want to speak to my generation the way I spoke to them 20 years ago. So I keep saying I'm at that moment. Like I remember when Tina Turner came out with "What's Love Got to Do with It." She was like 42 years old, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And people had counted her out so many times. Same thing with Cher.
Yeah.
Before If I Could Turn Back Time, she came back and looked incredible, and the song was incredible, and she kind of empowered a lot of women at that time, and that's kind of how I'm feeling about my music and where I am in my life right now. So I'm excited to I'm just paying attention to the music part right now, and then I'll figure out if I'm going to shop it to majors or what. There's a kind of an interest and a buzz about it right now, and with the majors, and we'll see what direction it goes. And
Retro Rewind!
The 90s, 80s, the 70s. It's all right now on Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind.